Hi everyone, I'm Airier, and today we're going to be looking at Puffin Forest's next Curse of Strahd replay. This is episode 6, Kazan's Tower, and yeah, after the last episode, I'm good. Nothing happened, and I wasn't mentally scarred at all, and nothing at all made me question why I'm doing this willingly, because that definitely didn't happen. Yeah. I don't know what Curse of Strahd is, more or less. I know it's a module in D&D. I know it's a long-running one that a lot of people had contributed to over a very long period of time. So there's a lot of high-end content. There's low-end content. It's just one of the largest entire modules of D&D. And I wouldn't be surprised if they keep updating it at this point, because from what I'm hearing, it's a very much living system at this point. What that means for everyone else is that, oh dear God, this is going to be gothic horror to the extreme, no romanticization of it, and it's going to fuck you up a lot. Yeah. Pretty Guardian's my wife, and she loves horror. She loves scary things. They're funny to her. I'm not that way. I am a coward. So when Puffin does a really good job describing something, and sometimes he does that very well, other times he just does a good job, other times he does a very good job. I wish he would fail, because I'm not sure we're going to get to that in this episode. I'm going to take a wild guess there and say, no, there are no free passes on this one. He'll work in the humor, and he honestly does it pretty well. But it's one of the few reasons I can make it through, because these are actually kind of terrifying when you really stop to think about what's being described. Yeah. So we're just going to jump right in and watch me have an inevitable mental breakdown, because this is a lot more fucked up than I was expecting. You guys know the deal. There's a link below to the original video. Hit it up at your own risk, because while Puffin Force is great and he makes it pretty funny when he can, he's not going to hold back on their fucked up moments. He's just not going to hold back. He doesn't. In fact, he'll push forward to make them even more sometimes, because he'll just describe them perfectly. Damn you for being competent, Puffin. Damn you so much. Yeah. And if you enjoy my suffering, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Let's get started.
In my D&D campaign, our adventurers finally managed to speak with the infamous Strahd von Zarovich.
Yep.
When we went to his dinner party, he told us all about his situation, how Barovia is in the Demiplanes of Dread, which are a prison run by the Dark Powers. In Barovia, no soul is allowed to leave, and when someone dies, they are reborn into a new body.
Strahd mentioned that adventurers didn't get stuck, but, if they die in there, does that mean they're now stuck in the cycle of reincarnation? That would, I'm not going to think about this.
Strahd has been in a century-long quest to find his lover,
Oh, it's only a century?
Who continually dies over and over again. Every time she comes of age, he tries to claim her as his bride.
Why is
However,
he waits until she comes of age.
Perish.
Good for him.
He believes that their love
A lot of monsters
is
wouldn't.
more powerful than the Dark Powers, and he will eventually win against them.
I mean, if he has
Really, I think
infinite
in this
time,
situation,
eventually, yeah.
What Strahd really needs is a bro. Someone to go, man, you don't need her. You need to be thinking about you, and just help him get out of his funk.
That's what the
current
wives are for.
reincarnation of
They
Tatiana
fail because they
is
suck.
Irina. We've been
Blood.
protecting her, trying to keep her safe.
Yeah,
But we had to hand
already.
Irina over to Rictavio, who's going to be watching out for her, hopefully. We didn't really have another plan after that. He told us to...
From the viewer's standpoint, hearing that Rictavio will take care of her sounds like bullshit. The fact that he's not even hiding the sheer I don't believe a fucking thing about this. I'm swearing a lot of this episode. I don't know why. But there's just no fucks given. And you can tell it in his voice, like, yeah, he's gonna be taking care of her. It's like you don't even hide the fact that he's definitely going to be doing something evil. I mean, what in horror would a crazy-ish guy in a tower do with a young lady who everyone seems to want? I mean, okay, actually, that got a lot darker than it could have been. I mean, it could have been a Catholic priest, but that would be fine because it's not a little boy. I can say it because I'm Catholic. God. I'm going to make so many bad jokes about this.
to come to Kazan's tower at Lake Baratok. And so, that's what we're gonna do. Man, it would suck if he turned out to be evil too.
I mean, what are the chances of that?
In the last session, the players killed the hags of the windmill, which were murdering children, baking them into pastries.
And you let one get
managed
away.
To trap them in a magic circle.
Who is also a little girl,
them.
who isn't a little
However,
girl anymore.
Gertruda, one of the hag children, escaped. My character came down from the attic. I meet Esmeralda waiting for us. Gertruda got away, I said.
Damn,
Esmeralda said.
Looks like we got one more night hag running around. We're not going to be able to sleep quietly knowing she's out there somewhere.
We found these bottles containing our breaths in them that they had stolen
we all know
us.
she'll come back to
In case you
murder
guys
them,
forgot, the hags took one of our breaths away from us, which mechanically meant that we could only fail 2 death saves, not 3. We opened the bottles and inhaled them. What if I were to inhale both of them? Then I'd have 4 death fails.
No.
Now that we have them back, we're back to normal.
Oh.
Boshak found a fleshy sack on one of the sisters.
So you can just
He
keep those in a
approached Krusk
bottle.
about it, saying,
"This is where she has been keeping your life energy."
each night he had been stealing his life essence.
Great. What do I do with it?
Krusk asked.
How would you use
To
that?
get your hit points back, you must suck on it.
What?
Boshak said. Yeah, Krusk, you have to suck on his fleshy sack.
Fine,
Krusk said.
but I'm not making the noise.
Yeah, you
DM
should
said,
make the noise.
You have to make the noise,
You have to-
or else it doesn't work. After that, Krusk had gotten all of his hit points back. We then...
I just want to point out, if the character facial expressions and choices are holding true, usually whenever Puffin Forst has his brother play, he uses this facial animation, this style. In the same way, he always uses his general facial construction for his characters, and generally the same facial construction for Asiago as well. So in all likelihood, his brother is playing Krusk. He's telling his brother he has to make the noise of sucking on the flesh bag. Yep. That right there is called brotherly love. Note because that is a very important thing. It might look like absolutely vindictive torture. Yeah, no, there's no but. It just looks like that because it's completely accurate. Yeah, brothers. Definitely never did that to my my little brother. Yep, never did that because he's now big enough to crush me by accident with his arms or his pinky. So I never did anything like that to him at all. And bro, if you're watching, I am so sorry for the things I definitely didn't do. I'm going to stop incriminating myself now.
Then talked about what to do with Ismark, Irina's brother who had been bitten by a werewolf and been captured by Strahd, but we busted out of prison last game.
Now that we have some time,
Boshak said,
I can cast Remove Curse on Ismark to free him from being a werewolf.
Oh.
Whoa,
You can do that?
there. I say, slow it down, partner. We don't have to rush into this whole decursing thing too hastily.
Because he's a
I
good
mean,
asset.
Who doesn't like transforming into a giant wolf that can murder people with their claws? Not gonna lie, it's pretty useful.
Yeah.
Boshak just gives me a look.
He's feral right now, meaning that he doesn't have control over his body
Oh.
totally. Meaning that at night, when he goes to sleep and turns, he'll kill us all.
Yeah, that's usually a bad
What about
thing.
Emil? I gestured to our other werewolf friend.
Emil was born a werewolf.
Boshak said,
He can control his werewolf form because he's lived with it. Ismark does not have that luxury.
fine.
That's an
I
odd
say.
definition, but actually makes it
cast
very
Remove
practical to
Curse on
find
Ismark,
purebreds.
and he's back to being human. Once everything was
Sorry.
taken care of, we had a long
No
rest.
more damage buffs.
In the previous episodes, both Garo and Gouda had died and gotten resurrected by taking a deal with a spirit. Garo made a deal with a dryad, making him have plant-like features, like bark skin and some druid cantrips.
It
while
looks
Gouda
too
made a deal with a
generally
beholder.
nice and planty
That
for this
night,
world.
both Gouda and Garo have strange dreams and speak with their mysterious patrons. Gouda first talks to her patron, Maverus.
What?
In the dream, a beholder floats in front of her. This beholder is a skull with lights floating around his head.
A skull?
Yes, Gouda, you have done well to spread the chaos.
He said, Thanks, Magic Dad. Gouda
Okay, one, I've actually looked at pictures of the beholders that are giant skulls. That's legitimately kind of terrifying. I'm not going to lie. It's legitimately kind of scary looking. Two, really, Gouda? Just calling him Magic Dad because she's spreading chaos? I mean, to be fair, it wouldn't hurt the entire location. Barovia kind of needs a little chaos because it's very, very set and stable. So actually, it's probably very orderly. So a little chaos is probably a good thing to introduce. But really, just Magic Dad? Oh dear God, Gouda. How is it you're probably one of the nicest characters of this entire campaign, and yet you've done some of the most fucked up shit? Followed by Ben. Seriously, they have an explicitly evil character who's not done anything nearly as morally reprehensible.
I said, I hope I'm doing you proud.
Indeed, but you are still lacking. So, I am giving you more to go forth in this world and destroy.
Ghost Dad is generous.
Will fall before you.
As he says
Cool.
that, more eyes appear on Gouda's body.
Aw, thanks, Magic Dad. I mean, I don't get to hear that a lot from actual Dad.
Farewell, Gouda.
Maverus says, and leaves.
Okay, wow, Gouda, way to make that awkward. I mean, completely fair, but she really likes a giant evil beholder who's giving her power to destroy all in front of her, which, considering they're in a place where everything could be destroyed and actually morally perfectly fine with that. Yeah, cool, good on them. The fact that she's like, yeah, I never really hear that from actual Dad. You know, the entire, you did good. So it's like, oh, her actual dad's also a monster. Kind of an asshole. When a skeletal beholder is a better dad. God damn it, Puffin.
The chaos consume you.
Yay, chaos! Woo!
Oh,
Yeah.
we got somewhere else to be?
Blood for the blood god.
Okay.
What?
I guess Magic Dad is kind of a lot like real Dad.
Then we cut
He'll
over to
stop
Garo,
in, though.
who's
and
also
apparently,
sleeping.
real dad doesn't.
In his dream, he gets approached
out to
by
get
the
cigarettes?
dryad spirits again. But there's another female
Sorry, that one.
spirit there. The first one he spoke to is the spirit of the forest. The next one is the spirit of the swamps.
Oh.
She has darker skin, with vines in her hair.
The road you have traveled has been fraught with perils.
Ooh, the reverb
But the
on that
road
actually
ahead of
disguises
you
his voice pretty
is
well.
even more dangerous yet. Only with our power can you stand against the darkness.
Emerging on my fingertips are these small berries.
Fingertips?
The DM informs me that each day, I now naturally produce 10 good berries. Each one restores health and gives you sustenance for a full day.
Oh!
Sweet, that's pretty cool. I start munching on the berries. I also get the ability
Is
to
that
cast
cannibalism?
Inveigle, causing plants to summon out of the ground.
You are our champion.
They said,
We will be watching
does that
over you
work?
as you continue.
Okay, 1. Cool. Champion powers. Yeah, nice. 2. He gets berries at his fingertips. Does that mean when he goes to shake someone's hand, they just get good berry on them? That seems like it would be really awkward really fast. It's like, okay, I grab my weapon. It's all got to clean it again. Like, does he have to pluck his own berries? And when he eats one, is he eating himself? That's just... I'm thinking this too much. I'm overthinking this, aren't I? I'm just going to stop. Also, is that a raven just like randomly sitting crooked out of a tree? It's so... What? Okay.
I realized the last time I didn't ask your names. I should probably do that.
Oh, yeah.
We are Harkotha.
They say. When I wake up, I show the others the good berries. These are from your girlfriend, Gouda asked. They're not
Girlfriends.
my girlfriends. I say. I took a vow against that kind of thing. Also, there's 2 of them now. Wow, Gouda said. That's
Well,
very
Yeah,
impressive
you
of
took a vow against girlfriend.
Sorry, I
Yeah,
guess
plural.
you could say that was a low-hanging fruit.
As Boshak's player sees this,
Oh.
he says, hey, why do they get cool powers and I don't? The DM says, you can pray and ask and see if someone answers.
You know what? Sure. I'll
What?
pray and ask.
But he already has a sponsor.
Boshak
Patron
prays.
thing.
Hey, it's Boshak just calling out to the universe. I could really use some help right now.
His prayer gets answered by Dendar,
What?
his patron. I think in an earlier episode I called Dendar he. Just to clarify, Dendar is female. She's
Oh.
called the Mother of the Night Paradise.
Oh.
Hi,
Night
Dendar.
Paradise.
What's up?
Boshak says,
Yes, my child.
she said,
Okay, 1, that voice is absolutely terrifying. 2, I hate to say this, but really, Mother of the Night Paradise. Let's be honest, I think we all know what that is. It sounds like an all-night gas station. Yeah, That's where I went. You were probably expecting me to say some kind of joke about how, oh, that sounds like the name of a brothel. No, I would never do that because that is a low-hanging fruit, and I just made the same joke as Gouda. I don't actually mind the joke itself. It's more just that she actually beat me to it, and I felt bad about it, and then I instinctively repeated the horrible, horrible joke I heard. Oh, God, I don't know why I'm like that. If I hear a horrible joke, I will repeat it. I don't like that I do that, but I do it, and it's a thing. It's a real problem. I need to stop. I'm not going to stop. It's that last part that makes the issue.
Says,
I was just thinking, all the other party members got these really cool powers, and
Krusk
I was
didn't.
feeling kind of left out
Well, he got a sword.
because they got these snazzy new gifts,
It's a nice sword.
and, you know...
You have Eldritch Blast at home.
I know, but
Why don't you bring
all
it
the
with
other
you?
magic parents gave them other magical gifts.
Well, I don't know. Are all the other magic parents a single mother taking care of multiple kids and working 2 jobs at eating all nightmares and trying to annihilate all of existence?
No.
One of them is probably.
the world-ending
Judas
serpent
probably is.
coils around him.
Maybe female.
But I guess you have been evil and misbehaving lately, and you do need some more responsibility.
To
I
go
guess
sta-
I
Oh,
could
wow,
use some
Puffin.
more magic.
Yay, Boshek says. Thanks, evil Snake Mom. You're the worst.
When he wakes up, Boshak notices that he looks
Evil
more
Snake Mom has given him the
serpentine
googly
and
eyes.
has new special abilities, like being
Also-
able to eat flesh for HP and shedding his skin.
That art, for Puffin specifically, with his 2 not girlfriends. I'm assuming there's more detailed fan art out there. Oh, God. I'm just looking, it's like, oh, yeah, you can tell he drew this because he's definitely got the best version of the art. I mean, yeah, Boshak is like the evil snake mom who's giving the googly eyes, but it's like, we have Eldritch Blast at home. And it's not actually Eldritch Blast, we all know that joke. The Ghost Beholder, which, again, yeah, it actually looks kind of cute that way. But just, really, Puffin, you just drew it like that? You just drew them doing, You even gave yourself the sparkly eye effect. You even did that. Oh, God. This is the moment right now where you just drop down the freaking glasses and go MLG music everywhere. And it's like super annoying. This is exactly that moment. This is that moment. And if you weren't thinking it, Puffin, the second you drew that, okay, 1, good on you for not doing that. 2, you should have because it's completely deserved. God damn it.
Again, where his severed arm used to be is now a mass of writhing snakes. Yes! Boshak holds up his arm to the sky and says, "More power!"
That's terrifying.
The DM looks to Krusk. Our half-orc paladin asks, "What about you? Do you want to pray and ask the dark powers for power?" Krusk thinks about it.
Nah, I have my god. My god is the only one whom I serve. Anyone else would just compromise me.
You sure? I say, holding out some good berries. They give you some really cool stuff.
You're eating yourself.
No, I am bound to my god. I will put no other spirit nor man before me.
Why? They just give you magical powers that with no downsides. It's really cool, I say. It's like Christmas.
To be fair, Gouda doesn't actually seem to
Boshak
have
was like,
downsides.
I mean, if he dies, he kind of has to take the powers.
Boshak
So at that point, he
doesn't
has no
get any downsides
choice.
because he's already
You
evil.
know what? I say, thinking.
Puffin's the
we
one
could
really getting
just
screwed here.
kill him sometime to
I know
make
what I
him
said.
get the powers.
Hey,
Crust said, offended.
yeah, he has to sleep sometime.
Boshak thought about it.
Crust was like, hey, I'm right here.
Shut up, Crust. This doesn't
They're
consider
trying
you.
to kill
Thinking about
him.
this, I
Oh,
said,
God.
okay, here's the plan. What if we wait him to sleep and we could just stab him in the neck? I mean, it's more out of curiosity at this point than anything. And Crust was just standing there like, guys, come on. Right here? And I'm like, but hey, shut up. We gotta think about this. In the end, we decided it's Barovia. He's gonna die sooner or later.
Yeah.
After we were done, we got out our torches and burned the entire hag windmill to the ground.
They hadn't done that already?
Won't be used for evil anymore.
Probably will.
Esmeralda said.
Stones are still there.
We left, heading back to Valaki.
You,
I get the distinct impression
owe
it's
me
happened already.
one.
Emil said. Emil was our werewolf friend and the last alpha of his wolf pack. In the last session when we were in the Castle Ravenloft, we found him holed up in the dungeons.
I helped you kill the hags. Now you must help me kill Kirill.
Who's
Who's
Kirill?
Kira? Oh.
He's the one who works for Strahd.
Sounds
Emil
good.
explained.
He took my pack and claimed it for his own.
Does he have a
We get
book
to
he writes
screw
people's
over
names
Strahd?
in?
I agreed. That sounds like a plan. We were also curious about Fiona. In the last session, we had led a coup and put her in charge in Vallaki. But afterwards, we had discovered that she had been working with Strahd. We wanted to know what
you
she
probably
was
should
up
just get
to
away
since
from
the
there
party
right
left
now.
town. We used Boshak's familiar, Femur, to scry on Fiona and to find out what's been going on in town ever since the coup.
Purges? Murder
Through
in the
this
street?
familiar's
Blood
eyes,
everywhere?
we see her
Riots?
standing in a circle with a pentagram, wearing robes with several others chanting. She's in a hidden location somewhere underground, without any windows. Femur tries to fly onto her shoulder, but bumps into something. Becoming visible on her shoulder is her own imp familiar. Fiona's imp stabs at his bug, killing it. He loses the image after that.
Oh.
He recasts Find Familiar, summoning Femur back to him.
Looks like Fiona is a cultist.
Boshak informs
Yeah,
us.
not really
We
surprised.
really need to start doing background checks on the people we put into office.
Wait, we don't know they're a cult yet, I say.
I'm-
Just because they're wearing robes and standing around in a pentagram and chanting and have a secret society and a shady leader doesn't mean they're a cult. Let's not jump to conclusions.
I hear
You know, I want to say something about this. I really want to say something about this. But it's 2020, and I realize if I say anything, reality will conspire to make something worse happen. And as much as I was going to make a joke about that, I realize it's not worth the risk. Because 2020, man. Fuck that shit.
Here they're trying to spread peace and love.
Oh god, it is a cult!
What the hell?
Our players travel to Vallaki from the ruined hag's place. As you guys cross through the gates
Peace and
into
love.
the town,
Yes, the peace of the
normal
grave.
guards are gone,
And the love of
replaced
the
by
death
people
eating.
wearing red
Yeah,
and
you
black
gotta eat
robes.
dead things.
The same robes
Technically,
the
that's
cultists
actually what
wore
eating
when
usually
we
is,
spied
but
on
we're
them.
going to ignore that.
We talked to the bar owner about what had happened in town since we left. How have things been since we've been gone?
Shit.
Things have quieted down and gotten better.
Oh.
Fiona opened the town for trading, and there's more goods going around.
Oh,
That's great. I was expecting riots, looting, pillaging, but none of that.
Human sacrifice?
Seems like it was a smooth transition.
She also has people going around speaking to people about Strahd and discussing how great he is.
That's not great. We decide we're not going to talk to Fiona.
yeah, probably a good idea.
Probably busy and also evil. So
I mean,
we're
yeah,
just
but
gonna skitter
everyone's
on
evil.
out of town without talking to her. But when the group leaves the tavern, we're
Strahd
met
is
with
not
a
actually
ring
that
of
evil, though.
guards.
I mean, considering he could have
12
walked in at
total.
any time and murdered everyone.
Fiona Watcher requests
He's
you
more
speak
lawful
with her.
evil.
Great.
Like Boshak.
We're taken
who's
to her
more
house
chaotic?
and sat down with her. She asks about her daughter, Stella. I talked to her about what we found out with Victor and that we might know someone, a powerful sage in Krask, who would be able to fix her.
Oh.
Oh, that's good to hear.
She says relieved. Also, we had a chat with Strahd the other night. He
Yeah,
invited
she's
us
definitely
over
going
for
to
dinner.
sacrifice the daughter.
Well, how was it?
Fiona asks. Tried to think of a diplomatic way to talk about the dinner without giving anything away.
Clusterfuck?
He's not what I was expecting. I think I got to know him a lot better, and Strahd's very civilized.
I know, right? You've heard the terrible rumors about him.
Oh, terrible rumors. Everyone was calling him the devil. It just goes to show you never know.
To be fair, the devil's locked him away in there, so he's literally not the devil. He wants to kill the devils because they locked him away in there and then probably usurp their power and become worse, but we're going to ignore that part.
Guess this is just me talking now, because no one else wants to.
People just always want to make a villain out of whoever's in charge. Some people even call him a raving, murdering psychopath.
I mean, yes, but
I guess people will call him that.
My word, it's so unfair.
He's not
and people are
raving.
just so unjust.
he's just a murdering
You know,
psychopath.
100% agree with you. What can I say? We live in a pretty dark and depraved world out there.
I know, right? But anyway, please, if you find anyone who is able to fix Stella, let me know.
We will do all that we can, I say.
Seriously, calling it out? She's
Now that
going
we
to
know what's
sacrifice her
wrong,
as soon as she's
We're
fixed.
one step closer to fixing it. We say goodbye to her and take our leave, finally getting a chance to talk amongst ourselves. Well, that means Vallaki is now under the control of a Strahd supporter, so seems like we need to be more careful when we're in here.
Yeah,
It's
but
no
honestly,
longer
he
a
already
safe
kind of knows
haven.
exactly what you're doing everywhere, so it doesn't really change
We exit
things.
Vallaki, traveling on the road to Kazan's tower, located on a little mush peninsula just next to Lake Baratok. At the
Oh.
base of the tower is Esmeralda's wagon. Inside we find some weapons and a journal written by Strahd von Zarevich.
Oh,
So, I am now going to read the entire journal of Strahd to you guys now and his backstory. Also, I'm going to try and read in Strahd's accent. I apologize if there's any accent slip-ups right now.
Oh,
It's gonna
God,
be tough,
he's reading
but
the accent.
Here goes nothing. I am the ancient. I am the land. My beginnings are lost in the darkness of the past.
Wait. Puffin was doing the Strahd voice this entire time? I'll be honest, I thought he got someone else to do it because it sounds so much different than the usual voices he does. Mostly because he does his normal voice or that really high-pitched voices, which sound like him still, but, you know, they're just cutesy versions that anyone can do, but he does it consistently and remembers what they are, so that's actually better. But I didn't realize he was doing the Strahd voice, too. Or unless the entire spiel about reading it in a voice was setting up for someone else to do it so he can credit? I don't know, and I need to find out because I'm actually curious.
I was the warrior. I was good and just. I thundered across the land like the wrath of an unjust god, but the war years and the killing years wore down my soul as the wind wears stone
So basic
into
Dracula
sand.
backstory.
All goodness slipped from my life. I found my youth and strength gone, and all I had left was death. My army
nearly as dark as the
settled
actual
in the
Dracula
valley of
backstory.
Barovia and took power of the people in the name of a just god, but with none of the god's grace or justice. I called for my family, long unseated from their ancient thrones, and brought them here to settle in the castle Ravenloft. They came with a younger brother of mine, Sergei. He was handsome and youthful.
Sergei?
I hated him for both. From the families of the valley, one spirit shone out above all others, a rare beauty who is called perfection, joy, and treasure. Her name was Tatiana,
Yeah,
and I
that kinda
longed for
makes
her
sense.
to be mine. I loved her with all my heart.
She
I loved
didn't
her for
love
her
you,
youth.
did she?
I loved her for her joy. But she spurned me. Old One was my name to her, elder and brother also. Her heart
Brother?
went to Sergei. They were betrothed. The date was set. With words she called me brother, but when I looked into her eyes they reflected another name, death. It was the death of the aged that she saw in me. She loved her youth and enjoyed it, but I had squandered mine.
I'm getting a distinct impression he might be reading into this a little more than she said. Yeah, just calling it now.
The death she saw in me turned her from me, and so I came to hate death, my death. My hate is very strong. I would not be called death so soon. I made a pact with Vol, a pact of blood. On the day of the wedding, I killed Sergei, my brother. My pact was sealed with his blood, divinity. I found Tatiana weeping in the gardens east
You
of the
did just
chapel.
kill her,
She fled
fiancé
from me.
on the
She
day
would
of.
not let me explain, and a great anger swelled within me. She had to understand the pact I had made for her.
You
I
are kind of an
pursued
idiot.
her. Finally, in despair, she flung herself off from the walls of Ravenloft, and I watched everything I had ever wanted fall from my grasp forever. It was 1,000 feet through the mists. No trace of her
Damn, that's
was
pretty
ever
high.
found. Not even I know her final fate.
Dead?
Arrows from the castle guards pierced me to my soul. But I did not die.
Oh.
Nor did I
Vampire.
live. I became undead forever. I have studied much since then. Vampire is my new name. I still lust for life and youth, and I curse the living that took them from me. Even the sun is against me. It is sun and light I fear the most.
Oh.
But little else can harm me now. Even a stake through my heart does not kill me, though it
I'm honestly a little surprised. I thought with how they're building up how high power everything is, and Strahd in specific, he would be over the entire sun thing. I guess in D&D they're making that a more solid thing. I'm just used to a lot of franchises minimizing the sun just so they can ignore the entire you can only be out at night thing. Yeah, I guess that's more of a thing here. Huh.
withholds me from movement. But that sword, that cursed sword that Sergei brought, I must dispose of that awful tool. I fear and hate it as much as the sun.
Lawful good sword, right?
I have learned much, too, about
probably
this
the one
lands of
Krask has.
Barovia.
Krask?
Ancient are its ways, ancient beyond the knowledge of the simple folk of this valley. Ancient saints dwell in this valley long before my coming, and 3 hidden fanes still give tribute to their memories.
3?
I visited the swamp fane, the forest fane, and the mountain fane, and
They
claimed
did.
their powers for my own. Their servants now serve me, and thus I have become the land. I have often hunted for Tatiana. I have even felt her within my grasp, but she escapes me. She taunts me, What will it take
Has
to bend
Sergei
her love to
revived?
me?
Or did
I
that
now
happen
reside far below Ravenloft. I
before
live
the entire
among the dead
curse
and
happened?
sleep beneath the very stones of this hollow castle of despair. I shall seal shut the walls of these stairs, that none may disturb me. We read it. I paraphrased it to the rest of the group. I'm going to tell you right now, Strahd is very emo, like, woe is me, everyone hates me. I think the image of vampires being these angsty teens fits this guy.
Yeah.
Man, Strahd is a creep.
Gouda
Yes.
said, really? You're just figuring that out now? We said,
It is so
I thought
shocking.
they were
I
a
never would
couple
have
or
had the
something,
guess.
But no, Tatiana was someone else's bride. He was just an old lecher who was after a younger woman.
Her brother.
is a psychopath.
That she called
He's
him.
talking like, I did all of this for you. I have suffered so much for
Again,
you.
he
and
killed
you
his
owe
brother.
me one. He
No one's
wants
focused
people
on
to
that part?
see him as this tragic hero that's suffering for the one he loves when he's a monster, a predator who's after this woman. And he even sounds like he hates Tatiana as well for quote-unquote torturing him and haunting him. The tragedy is if Strahd would just let it the fuck go, he'd be fine.
Yeah.
He can't, and he's basically torturing himself.
Yeah, basically.
I look back to the letter. One takeaway is he brings up that a stake through the heart doesn't kill him, but it does stop him from moving. Also,
I mean, to be
Sergei
fair,
had a sword that apparently...
I would like to give him a little fairness here. If you put a stake through my heart, that would also stop me from moving. I think most things, if you put a stake through the heart, it would have that effect. Yeah, just throwing it out there. I know it's completely a shock. I guess you all thought it's like, I could survive anything. Yeah, stakes to the heart. Nah, that's just a Tuesday. Nope. My weakness, a stake to the heart. And bullets, but we're going to ignore that one.
apparently Strahd hated and got rid of. Gouda piped up,
I mean, if I was eating a steak, I'd stop moving too. Eat the
God damn it,
whole
Gouda.
thing right there.
Yes, that
The
would also
DM
stop me
informs
too,
us
but
the Journal of Strahd is a magic item. While it's in your possession, anyone within 15 feet of you guys is immune to Strahd's charming gaze.
oh,
Nice. We add it to our inventory. The DM also lets me know, in the letter, Strahd talked about the Forest Fane, Swamp Fane, the Mountain Fane. Garo,
I guess you have to
you've met them
feign
before.
interest.
I have, I say, thinking,
No,
well,
that was
the
bad.
DM clarifies, 2 of them. Oh, Harkotha, the spirits. I thought they were dryads, but that's the Forest and Swamp Fane? Once we're done talking and catching
Didn't they
up,
serve
we turn to
Strahd?
Kazan's tower. Rictavio said that tower held secrets that would answer many questions that we had.
Are you sure?
Is the third one
Esmeralda
that beholder?
asked.
I tried, but I couldn't get in. The place is dangerous.
We approached the front door. There was an emblem with a set of runes on it.
It's not a language I know.
Boshak said.
Push one.
There seems to be a pattern of some kind, I noticed. Like there's a transformation, and it changes one symbol to the next. It seems like it's a puzzle. You can pause the video now and take a look at the runes if you're interested in solving them yourself.
Okay, so one, he put the entire thing in there too. Wait, no. I'm sorry, but is that the YMCA? Like, is this just the runic equivalent of the YMCA he put in as a joke? Let's see if I can do. YMCA. Oh, God. I think he actually did some variation of the YMCA here. Is it accurate? Probably not, but that's exactly where my mind went, and he's probably just imagining, oh God, Puffin, please tell me you didn't actually just make people do the YMCA, and I just... How do you make the M? I don't actually remember. Gah! This is where my mind goes. It's completely squirrel momenting me right now.
Did you try the knock spell? I asked Esmeralda.
Knock?
Yeah,
She said,
it doesn't seem to work. Well, there's a line in the center.
Gouda said,
Maybe I'll just trace it with my finger. I wouldn't do that if I were you.
It probably works,
I
doesn't
tried
it?
it earlier.
overhead, the clouds start to swirl.
What?
The hairs stand up on our arms. We can hear the crackle of thunder.
Don't worry. It'll be fine.
Probably won't.
What's the worst that can happen?
Die.
As she is working on the puzzle, we all just scoot a little away from her,
Yeah.
giving her some breathing room.
Really good
She
idea.
completes the puzzle, but the door wasn't budging. It seemed like her answer was wrong.
Dragon.
Esmeralda said, backing
What?
away quickly. Swooping in and landing on top of the tower was a massive blue dragon.
Oh.
It opened up its mouth and issued out its lightning breath on Gouda. Gouda tries to cast Absorb Elements, but rolls wild magic. So,
What?
in case some of you don't know, Gouda is a wild magic sorcerer, which means that she has a small chance of doing a random magic effect whenever she casts a spell.
I love wild magic.
If you accidentally get a random magic effect, you have to roll on a 1 to 100 table
It can be
to see
useful
what the spell
or
does.
horrible. I love it all.
Sometimes it can be something good, like gaining damage resistance, or harmless, like a beard of butterflies, or bad. The most infamous random magical effect is Explosion, where your character just accidentally casts Fireball centered on yourself.
That would
so
suck.
She rolls her wild magic and she gets an explosion. Gouda explodes with magic. However, the magic is absorbed by the tower.
Ah, it seems like the tower can absorb spells. That was a close one.
She backs away out of the anti-magic area and tries to cast a spell again. She triggers wild magic again and rolls an explosion again. And then she spends a point of inspiration in a weird homebrew rule to re-roll it.
What?
And gets an explosion
Oh,
again.
God.
The other players even asked me if I wanted to spend my inspiration to re-roll it. I was
Sure,
like,
go for
"What?
it."
No, are you kidding? This is fate. This is like a unicorn event or something. I'm not re-rolling that. You rolled a fireball 3 times. 3 times.
Sorry, Garo!
I'm the only one near her to get hurt. Oh no, the DM says. I think I killed Garo. How many
Again.
hit points do you have? What's your max HP? It's a fireball. I said, I'm fine. Well,
Wood.
he clarifies, you're standing next to the wagon. On the other side of that door, that wagon is filled with alchemist fire, which also detonates. How much damage does alchemist fire do? I thought it only did like a
wagon
D4.
full of it.
He rolls some dice. 50.
God damn it, Caro.
So the scene is, a dragon flies down, shoots lightning breath, followed by an explosion, which gets negated by another explosion, followed by another explosion, just enveloping my character. The DM is like, did Gouda just kill Garo? What the correct is just a pile of wreckage. Laying in the center of the crater is Garo. I'm not...
Okay. This is... This is pure instant karma. He's talking about it's fate. I don't want to get in the way of this. You roll the fireball 3 times, so he decides not to use the inspiration. And because of that, he explodes. I just love this. This is so perfect. It's just the sheer coincidence, the randomness, the oh my god, what the fuck nature of it. I love this. And of course, we all know, standing in the wreckage, he is definitely in the Yamcha pose. You know the one. This right now, this is literally everything I love about D&D. Just these random things of why the fuck is this happening? And how do I get more of it? I love this.
Dead by massive damage, but it was really, really close.
The other players rescue me, carrying my
How is he
unconscious ass
alive?
away from the dragon that was
DM
throwing out lightning
being nice.
bolts. It didn't pursue us as we fled. Once we were gone, over the trees we could see it flap its wings and fly up into the clouds.
You owe me a new cart.
Esmeralda said to Gouda.
Yeah.
They fed me some good berries so that I was conscious. Boshek explained,
Seems like that dragon is an illusion of some kind.
It's lightning definitely wasn't, I said, hugging my wounds. I gave Gouda's players some grief. In the other campaign, she plays as a wildfire druid and is always setting things on fire, so these shenanigans seemed appropriate.
Yeah.
After resting, we went back to the tower and checked at the ancient runes. We tried poking them a bit, which that didn't work. Other spells, nothing. We had a joke where I was like, wait, I think I solved it. The dragon shows up. Wait, no, I figured it out. 2 dragons show up. Didn't happen though. We were stumped for a while until, you know what? The runes, they kind of resemble like stick figures. The
Oh,
first one starts with its
I was right
arms
about
out.
that.
As I say that, my arms go out. The DM notifies us that the rune lights up. Oh, I say, first, my arms are out, then one goes to my head, to my leg, lower one, hand to my hip, then the other one, I do the splits.
Is it the hokey pokey?
Is this just making me do the Macarena? Once all the runes had been lit up, the door opens. We enter. Inside.
I was so close. I was actually close. I went YMCA. It was actually the Macarena. I mean, I was joking, and I was actually close to being right. And now I'm mad at myself for not going with the other obvious dance. Fail. Big fail. Big
Inside is
move.
an elevator that takes us up to the top. In the highest
It's an
floor is a
elevator?
living area, and on the bed is Irina. We shake her awake.
What happened?
Not drugged?
The last thing I remember, I was brought to this tower by Rictavio. The second we got here, he changed into an old man. He's not what he seems.
Oh, yeah.
Esmeralda piped up.
I see you've
Shocking.
met Van Richten.
Rictavio is Van Richten?
What?
I say.
Yes.
She nods. Thinking back, Rictavio and Esmeralda never got a chance to meet up because he was always in Vallaki, which banned Vistani, and she was always outside of it. We also find another journal written by Van Richten. And now I will read out to you the contents of that journal.
What?
For more than 3 decades now, I have undertaken to investigate and expose creatures of darkness to the purifying light of truth and knowledge.
Yeah.
Hero, I am called in some circles, sage and master hunter in others.
Yeah.
That I have survived countless supernatural assaults is seen as a marvel among my peers. My name is spoken with fear and loathing among my foes.
I'm hearing a butt coming.
In truth, this virtuous calling began as an obsessive calling to destroy a vampire that murdered my child, and it has become for me a tedious and bleak career.
Oh.
Even as my life of hunting monsters
He's
began,
bored of it.
I felt the weight of time on my weary shoulders. Today, I am a man who has simply lived too long.
He's going to do
like a
something
regretful
stupid, isn't he?
lich. I find myself inexorably bound to an existence I sought out of madness, and seemingly must now endure for all of eternity.
Oh.
Of course I shall die, but whether I shall ever rest in my grave haunts my idle thoughts and torments me in my dreams. I expect that those who think of me a hero will change their minds when they know the whole truth about my life as a hunter of the unnatural.
What?
Nevertheless, I must reveal here and now that I
so
have been
far?
the indirect and yet certain cause of many deaths, and the loss of many good friends. Mistake me not, I do not merely feel sorry for myself. Rather, I come to grips with a devastating realization. I now see that I am the object of a baleful Vistani curse. More tragically, the nature of this hex is such that I have not bore the brunt of it. Instead, far worse, those who surround me have fallen victim to it. I have related the tragic story of how my only son Erasmus was taken by Vistani and sold to a vampire. I explained how Erasmus was made a minion of the Night Stalker, and how it was my miserable part to free him from that fate at the point of a stake. What I have neglected to illuminate before is how I tracked my Erasmus's kidnappers across the land, or how I extracted the whereabouts of my son from them. In fact, the Vistani took Erasmus with my own unwitting permission. On that day, they had brought an extremely ill member of their tribe to me one evening and insisted that I treat him.
Oh, God, I know this trope. He's literally the definition of die a hero or survive long enough to become a monster. Goddamn. So he is essentially the kind of tragic hero who's going to become the villain that they kind of thought Strahd would be before they found out, no, he's just kind of a creepy old man. God, this is going to be dark, isn't it?
But I had taken to drink in those days, and under the spell of the bottle, I was unable to save the young man's life. In fear of their retribution, I begged the Vistani to take anything of mine, if only they would withhold their terrifying powers, about which at the time I knew nothing. To my astonishment, they chose to surreptitiously take my son in exchange for their loss.
He was
By
a
the
drunk
time
and
I
it's his
sobered up
fault.
and realized what had occurred, there were already many an hour gone. In the journal, Van Richten then goes on to describe how, with the help of a necromancer, he unleashed undead onto the caravan of Vistani when he found out they had traded his son to a vampire. The next entry of the journal reads, "Yet the story has not ended.
What?
Before she died, the leader cursed me, saying,
'Live you always among the monsters, and see everything you love die beneath their claws.'
Even now, so many years later, I can hear her
Fall in
words
love with Strahd.
painful clarity. A short time later, I found my dear Erasmus made into a vampire. He begged me to end his curse, which I did with a heavy hand and a sinking heart. The darkness had torn him from my loving arms forever, and I foolishly believed that the curse had exacted its deadly toll.
But
I wept, and as my heart emptied, so did rise an insatiate desire for vengeance that I fear I will never quell." So apparently, according to this, I said, Van Richten is not the hero everyone makes him out to be, and he hates the Vistani and even massacred an entire Vistani camp,
Well, not everyone.
what?
Esmeralda said. Van Richten was the one that killed your family?
I was very young at the time.
Yeah,
Esmeralda
although they
said.
did
I
kind of
came to Van
take
Richten when I
his
was much
kid,
older.
too.
Did you try and kill him?
No,
Esmeralda said.
he is a very capable person. I wanted training.
So you went to the man who killed your family? How did he feel?
Honestly, at this point, she's probably safe from him. He definitely don't love her. So she's safe. I mean, other than, him killing her. But at this point, this is all kind of fucked up.
It was rough, she said, but I eventually convinced him to trust me.
Huh. We get interrupted when a voice
There's more
shouted
to that
to us
story,
from
isn't there?
outside.
Hey, who's there?
We poke our heads out of the window. There's a disheveled man on the road, looking up at the tower. Does anyone recognize him? I say. Our werewolf friend, Emil, took one look at him and said,
Kirill.
snarling.
Oh,
Right, he's the guy
Kirill.
who works for Strahd, the new alpha of the pack, right?
He betrayed me. I'm gonna kill him.
Emil
Cool.
said through gritted teeth.
Let's go take care of that.
We'd promised we'd help, so that's what we're gonna do. We head downstairs. On our way down, Emil transforms into his werewolf form, growling and snarling, just waiting for the chance to get at Kirill. I feel like we're owners at a dog park. I say, down, boy. You know how dogs are. They see
Really?
each other and they just immediately want to go over and say hello. The door to the tower opened up.
No.
Emil leaped out, snarling.
Kirill, you.
Kirill said, transforming into his full werewolf form. The two started clawing at each other, rolling around, snapping at snarling in the dirt.
Someone get
Then
a water
our
bottle.
DM let us know. Fun fact about werewolves. They can't hurt each other.
What?
What? Yeah, they can only be hurt by silver or magic. The thing is, werewolves' claws? Not silver. So what we see is two werewolves rolling around, snapping at each other and chasing each other around, but there's no blood
They're just
being
wasting
drawn.
time.
Oh, so it really is like being at a dog park. They sound like they're mad, but they're really just playing.
Oh, no, they're probably very
We start
mad.
discussing it. What if there was a cliff nearby? Nope, still wouldn't work. Cliff, not silver. Well, what if there was a cliff, but at the bottom was a silver mine?
Okay, that would work. What about painting silver on your nails? I mean, it's not piercing the skin, so, I mean, I guess very nice nail polish might actually be a legitimate weapon. Cool. Unless it burns the skin, in which case that would suck.
With silver in it still, that would do the trick. The two chase each other off into the woods. Before we can get a chance to pursue, appearing from thin air, riding on a nightmare, a black horse with a fiery mane and hooves, is Rahadin, I say, servant of Strahd.
Cool.
I'm here for Irina.
He says, flanked by a horde of vampire thralls. He holds out his hand.
Give her
Van
over to
Richten
me.
sold her out, didn't she?
How
He,
does
them.
everyone know where we are?
Van Richten?
Guys,
Not Van Richten.
what's the plan?
Ooh.
I say,
Also, cool little thing here. All the minions, but then his face, which I think this is the first time he's actually been drawn, is actually a little more sharply lined, so it's more detailed. Cool thing there. Nightmare is a flaming horse. Yeah, I just love that. The one thing I want to point out, one, yeah, Van Richten probably sold them out there. Two, the dog park analogy, really? I don't even... Oh, God. I feel pain for that one because it's just, it's so, I want to tear him, I want to rip him. It's like, you should know because you were the alpha. It's useless. Literally just hold him still while we do the damage. One of them, I think actually all of them, have magic. You don't. Doesn't think very well. God, someone should have neutered that guy. Wait, what? Spade? Neutered. Definitely neutered. I mean, that's why he's mad. I mean, to be fair, yeah, that would do it. God.
I don't think we can fight them. Gouda throws a fireball at him.
Too late.
Back, you creep! The fireball detonates. Through the flames, Rahadin emerges.
You have made your choice.
He prods his horse forward, which vanishes.
So is this where Crest
His
is
vampire
going down?
thralls rush forward, and we have a fight in front of the tower, keeping them out. As
Ooh,
the fight
ooh,
goes
quick,
on,
summon the dragon.
for no reason, in a clutch, absolutely mind-blowing play, Krusk casts see invisibility.
What?
We all look at him like he's crazy, but the demon's like, okay, this is what you see. What he notices is Rahadin as a nightmare. It can gallop in the air, flying up towards the top of the tower. It turns out that instead of teleporting away or leaving, he decided to have his vampire thralls just distract us while he had the nightmare go ethereal and fly up to where Airier is. Crush shouts,
"He's just trying to distract us! You guys stop him, I'll handle the others!"
He does have the magic sword.
Rush into the tower and start fighting with Rahadin. We're managing to hold him off, but he can Misty Step teleporting up to where Airier is.
Irina, he's almost got you. You're going to have to jump.
She leaps out of the third-story window, flying through the air and falling onto the bushes below. As Rahadin sees the last of his thralls die, and Irina close to our allies, Rahadin jumps back onto his nightmare, which gallops away through the sky and vanishes. Gudu is like,
Did we just win that fight?
I think we won.
Maybe we did, but maybe he just didn't think it was worth it.
Yeah, I mean, apparently you're telling her to jump out of a third-story window.
Boshak replied.
Either way, this area is not safe. He'll return soon, and with greater numbers.
Esmeralda said,
"Come, let us flee from
he's
this
at this point protecting her from you.
Get out of here, quick!" I said. The group was saying to ourselves, "Oh, we're so fucking dead. We're so dead. We just tried to kill Rahadin." Up until this point, we technically haven't gotten in Strahd's way yet. I think now that we tried to kill Rahadin, probably ended up on his hit list.
Honestly, at this point, I'm assuming he's
just
used to it.
There's a sinking feeling as we realize there's definitely no going back for us. The group raced away from Kazan's tower.
Where to next?
Let's go to Kresk. I remember hearing that there was a holy man who was with the Morning Lord. We could really use his help.
He's probably dead.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Also, where's Emil? He ran off into the forest chasing Kirill.
Yeah. We gotta deal with him later. Now,
no, don't. You learned your lesson from that.
We can't chase him down now.
No, you didn't.
We wondered how long it would be before Rahadin, Strahd, or his minions caught up to us again, knowing that the next time, both groups would be out for blood.
Yeah.
As our party returned to the road, with the smoking ruins of what used to be Esmeralda's cart behind us, racing off towards the town of Kresk, that was where that session ended.
Now, I don't want to say, Puffin, dear God, what are you doing? But I'm going to say it. Puffin, dear God, what are you doing? You just... The last time you got distracted from just finishing something, the entire church got massacred by Strahd because you didn't take him off on his offer right away. And now, one of your allies said, help me with this, and you're running away. I mean, yes, sure, it makes sense, but you're running away from the guy who asked you for help, and you agreed to help, and you're running away. No, just go back, find them, even if you just have to drag them away and say, we'll help you later when we don't need to get away from the Literally, why the fuck are you shooting yourself in the dick? Why? Sorry, I might be a little just about this one. I like this entire story, though. Like, so far, getting into the tower section was probably one of my favorites. It was just funny. It was random. It was wild magic. It was just complete odd chance, just working perfectly in all the wrong ways. And I love that. That's why I like D&D, and I want to play more, because I've played a little, but very much little. Seriously, I'm going to do an entire module later with someone, but, you know, the Rona is a thing, and who knows whenever that's actually going to happen, even if it is through online, but yeah. Right now, though, I'm just kicking myself because I can't kick Puffin because that'd be weird. Kicking people through the internet would be awkward. On the other hand, you can then punch people through the internet too, probably would be awesome, but that's completely beside the point. Yeah. Van Richten, pretty hard on himself, but not really that crazy. He's a straight anti-hero. Maybe not a hero, but definitely an anti-hero. Overall, probably doing the right thing, torturing himself, and definitely about to make some kind of horrible mistake. Probably going to turn himself into a vampire because he wants to kill Strahd, but will fail. Try to get more time to do it. Doesn't want to become an undead, so he'll become an undead. He's basically going down Strahd's path, but, you know, less pervy-wise. Yeah. This is a really fucked up module, but at least this episode was pretty funny. I have a feeling, though, this wise man they're going to meet is definitely going to be useful. You can definitely hear how much I sincerely believe that in my voice. I mean, yeah. God. So if you haven't already, don't forget, there's a link below to the original video. Hit it up. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Whenever we get to see whatever Puffin Force does next with this campaign that's definitely going to end well and not with horrible suffering and everyone being dead or monstrous or kind of just like, nope, screw it. Everything dies now. Boom. Actually, that actually would be kind of technically a good end, so they wouldn't have to be reincarnated to suffer more. So technically, that wouldn't be a bad end, but we'll see what happens. Oh, God. See you guys in the next one. Adios.